Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're making something pretty unique that might not look too exciting at first glance, but hear me out with this one because this is a fermented food that's worth getting to know. This is Ryazhenka, a Ukrainian cultured milk product that's often called baked milk yogurt. It's a really simple, beginner-friendly fermented food that gets its caramel color and creamy richness from baking milk in the oven before adding cultures to it, turning it into a yogurt-like drink with, excuse the mess, a yogurt-like drink with a delicious caramelized flavor. I'll show you two different simple methods for making Ryazhenka, as well as some ideas for how to use it at the end. Let's get started. Now, even though this is a baked milk yogurt, we're actually going to start off by heating a half gallon of whole milk on the stove top first before placing it in the oven. And the reason for this is to give the milk a little bit of a head start so that it doesn't take as long to bake, because as you'll see in a minute, we're already looking at a minimum of 4 hours in the oven. And I don't know about you, but I have the patience of a toddler, so we're going to do what we can to help speed things up a little bit. Once our milk is in the pot, turn the heat to medium-high and we'll just wait until the milk comes to a simmer. This should take about 15 to 20 minutes, and in the meantime, preheat the oven to 250 degrees Fahrenheit, or 121 degrees Celsius. Sorry for leaving my metric system people hanging in my previous videos. And be sure to stir the milk regularly as well to prevent it from sticking and burning on the bottom of the pan. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes and our milk has come to a simmer. I just turned the heat down here so it didn't boil over. So now it's time to pour it into a baking dish. So the reason we're using a baking dish is to create more surface area for when the milk is baking in the oven. This enhances evaporation, which causes the milk to caramelize and give us those delicious baked caramely flavors. And we want to be sure to keep the temperature low while baking as well, otherwise you risk the proteins in the milk overly denaturing, which is what causes milk to curdle, and you'll end up with a sort of grainy texture in the end. Now we can transfer the milk uncovered into the oven and bake for 4 to 8 hours, or you can use a slow cooker on low for 8 to 10 hours. Alright, time is up, and you have no idea how much I wish smell-o-vision was a thing right now, because it smells so good in here at the moment. And this dark crust that forms on the top is exactly what we're looking for. But don't throw this out. It's actually really tasty and sometimes considered the most prized part of this whole process. You can eat it as is with a little salt or sugar on it. You can put it on some buttered toast or even dehydrate it for a crispy snack for later. I tend to just eat it as is with a sprinkle of salt while it's still warm. Next, we want to let this cool to around 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius, and you can speed up the cooling process by gently stirring the milk occasionally, which will also help prevent another skin from forming on top. Just don't do what I did here and drop your spoon in the hot milk. Twice. Okay, maybe I did this 3 times before I finally caught on. I was a little tired here. Once our milk is cooled, we want to strain it for the best texture in the end. Now, if your milk did curdle a little bit in the oven and the curds are on the softer side, that's okay and is actually fixable. Just blitz the milk in a blender briefly before straining it, and then follow the rest of the steps from here on out. Now, since I'm showing 2 different ways to culture your Ryazhenka, I'm going to divide the milk in half, and I'm just going to eyeball it and not get too fancy with this. So for the first half of the milk, I'll be using 1 tablespoon of sour cream from the store. Just be sure that it says live cultures under the ingredients. And for the second half, I'll be using a half packet of Cultures for Health's heirloom Greek yogurt starter, which according to Google contains Lactobacillus bulgaricus and Streptococcus thermophilus. Apparently the cultures for both are considered proprietary and not actually listed on the packaging, and I'll just keep my thoughts on that to myself. Alright, so I'm adding the sour cream to the first bowl. and the Greek yogurt culture in the second. And then I'll just whisk both until smooth and then get ready to prepare an incubation chamber. Now I'll be using my yogurt maker as an incubation chamber with pint-sized mason jars tipped on their sides to fit inside the yogurt maker. You can also use a heating pad wrapped around a jar or some of the other methods mentioned at the end of my Amazaki video, which I'll put a link for up above. And I actually did a really poor job of dividing the milk up evenly because I ended up with 2 pint jars of the sour cream cultured milk and only 1 jar of the yogurt cultured milk. Either way, you should end up with roughly 1 quart of yogurt total in the end. Now I chose to use my own jars rather than the ones that came with the yogurt maker and just flip them on their sides so that I had fewer jars to mess with, but you can absolutely use whichever jars or containers you prefer so long as they fit in your fermentation chamber and they're not metal. Once everything is ready, we want to incubate both batches at 110 degrees Fahrenheit or 43 degrees Celsius and then set the timer for 8 hours. I'm also adding 110 degree Fahrenheit water to the yogurt maker until it covers the jars by 3/4. Oh yeah, don't forget to put the lid on as well like I initially did. So now that the timer went off, it's time to check on our jars and see if they look like yogurt. So this one was one of the jars cultured with sour cream. It's nice and thick and smooth, but also seems like it might be kind of pourable like the Ryazhenka from the store once I stir everything up. Maybe not, but it smells a lot more like sour cream than yogurt, unlike the store-bought stuff. The next one is the milk cultured with the Greek yogurt starter. Now this one actually took longer than the sour cream one to firm up and look and smell like yogurt, so don't get discouraged if yours also seems to be taking a while. Just give it a little extra time. And this one is also nice and thick and creamy and is looking exactly like what we're going for. Also, I really love these teeny tiny little spoons. They're so cute. Alright, time for the taste test. I'm giving the Greek yogurt one a try first. And it tastes really good. It has a pleasant sourness to it like yogurt, but it's also a little milder than the store-bought version, but still has that caramely baked milk flavor that Ryazhenka is known for. Taste test number 2. So the sour cream one is there's no real sourness to it, so it just kind of tastes like baked milk. It doesn't taste bad, but the Greek yogurt one is much better. So the final verdict is yay on the Greek yogurt, nay on the sour cream. Alright, now that you've made Ryazhenka, what do you do with it? Luckily, the answer is just about anything you want. While it's often consumed as is as a fermented beverage, you can also enjoy it with some fruit, drizzled with some honey or maple syrup. You can add it to smoothies or baked goods, or you can drizzle it as is over a bowl of oatmeal. Let me know in the comments down below how you plan on enjoying your first batch of Ryazhenka.